This is Part 2 Episode 197. Virtual Universe, within Luo Feng's villa in the Primal region. HM. Luo Feng just connected and realized he had a bunch of mail. So much. He was stunned, gently tapping in mid-air as the pages appeared and he read through. Primal Chaos City Leader Teacher had tried to contact him twice, Truyang 9 times, Bolan once, Rong Jun twice, Gao Xing once. Luo Ping 18 times, Luo Hai 21 times, Luo Hua 3 times, Dad 3 times, Mom 83 times. As for Shu Xin, she had contacted him 38,192 times. A blur of messages, it completely stunned Luo Feng. Other than his teachers, friends and family, there were other friends from the Hong Alliance. Some had invited Blade River Emperor to explore regions with them, some wanting to sell some items to him, some asking for help. The Primal Chaos City Leader's mail was very simply, "Come see me as soon as possible." Tru Yang's mail said, "If you survive, there's no rush. Deal with your family first, then come see me." Bolan and his other good friends before had just become sector lords not long ago. As for his friend Gao Xing, who he met on Horned Star Dragon long time ago, he mailed him to tell him he had broken off from his family, and had been exploring the universe for many years, finally striking it big. The mail was filled with glee, also awaiting Luo Feng's reply. However, this mail was sent over 2,000 years ago, and Luo Feng hadn't replied to any of his mails. As for his family, they were all filled with worry. Shu Xin. He looked at the blur of mails from her, shocked. These were all sent when he began his 6,000th year of life or death inheritance. There was almost one every day, sometimes two. Within a couple of hundred of years, there were over 30,000 mails from her. He swiftly scanned through them. Feng, the family's concealment plan is almost complete. I'm much more relaxed now, and just awaiting your return. The Luo family will get even stronger now. Feng, I'm currently in North Birch Star Field. There is a beautiful planet, the scenery is really nice, only a little cold. Feng, I encountered some trouble today. I didn't expect that after trusting her for so long, she'd dare go against me like that. I guess you never know what's going on in someone's heart. Seems right. I haven't seen that underling in a few hundred years. The many mails were just like a diary, recording her life, joy, troubles and so on, over the hundreds of years. The words were filled with worries, the pain that came from deep within, even when she spoke of happy things. It made Luo Feng feel that there was still worry behind. Trouble. The mails of back then sure were filled with trouble. Luo Feng felt the bitterness within. Back then, when he accepted the life or death inheritance, when he detected danger, only then did he leave behind the mail for his family, set to be sent during the 6,000 years. When he finally succeeded, he didn't expect that the inheritance would have lasted over 6,000 years. It was absurd. They must be extremely worried from that mail. Luo Feng was able to guess their reaction. The Primal Chaos City Leader and Tru Yang, I'll visit them later. He thought. They wouldn't care if I wait a while. I'll visit my family first. Su. He immediately entered Black Dragon Mountain Island's 9-star bay. Asterisk 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 asterisk. 9-star bay, other than the 3 core residences, which belonged to Luo Feng, Thunder God and Hong, every other living space was from the Luo family, and the renovation styles of the other buildings were all uniform. Luo Feng's ancient villa hadn't changed over the past 10,000 years. As it had a special meaning and position, normal family members couldn't even enter it. The grass before the villa currently had Luo Ping sitting in a stone chair, and the table had bottles of wine, with 10s of them already empty. He was sipping and drinking, non-stop, his forehead filled with worry. HM. Luo Feng instantly appeared before the villa, his expression changed at the scene. Luo Ping, what's the matter? He had never seen his big son use wine to forget his troubles. Of the two kids, Luo Ping was the calm one and he managed a lot of the family affairs. He was already considered one of the family leaders. I said, everyone get out, leave us now. Luo Feng detected some people behind him and immediately roared as he waved his hand. Luo Ping. A voice resounded. The voice was calm, almost like the vast ocean, even so, it was filled with vast energies. A strong warrior speaking to a weaker person gave a different feeling. Luo Feng's powerful willpower and consciousness naturally affected others about. Luo Ping was completely stunned as he turned gradually. Behind him, the silhouette that stood there was a very normal human body, even slightly shorter than himself. However, this silhouette was the pillar of the entire Luo family. The pillar of the entire earth. Dad. Luo Ping stared wide-eyed, dropping the wine bottles as they fell on the grass and rolled, wine leaking out. Dad, Dad. He rushed over excitedly, hugging Luo Feng. Ha ha. Luo Feng laughed. What's the matter, why have you resorted to drinking? The stress is too much. He got up and wiped his tears. He felt the endless worries within instantly vanish. He had yet to undergo such stress before, however when Luo Feng returned, everything disappeared with the wind, they were no longer worries. Where's your mother? He asked, bring me to her. She's currently negotiating with the Gold Mist Universe country's Luo Sai family. Luo Ping said. Negotiating. Luo Feng frowned. Luo Ping said helplessly, Dad, since you sent that mail to the family, we were all afraid. I didn't say I had died, only I was in some trouble. Luo Feng couldn't help but reply. We know you were alive. Seeing Di Fan and the others alive naturally meant that you were alive. However, your mail said that you were in danger, and that we may not be able to see you for a short period of time at best and longer period of time at worst. Short period could potentially mean 10,000 years, and long period could potentially mean millions of years. In all, the family began to get worried, and only Grandpa and Grandma, along with Uncle, Mum and little brother knew about it. For the family, we began to swiftly reorganize the management. Enforcing stricter management, cutting down on bad members that brought us enemies. Luo Feng's family had been around for over 10,000 years. Hence the number of family members were shocking. Many normal disciples and members, without any privileges, lived like normal people. After all, with their current numbers, even over 10,000 life planets weren't enough for them to live on. It was obvious how fast humans reproduced. Actually, several superfamilies in the universe had enough people to take up an entire galaxy, or even hundreds of them. This was very normal. Our Luo family grew too fast. When you were here to control it, it was still okay. But because. Hence, we controlled the rules and began to leave many back doors for the family. The business had grown huge and long left the Ganwu universe country. We didn't expect that a few decades ago, the Gold Mist Universe country's Luo Sai family, because of some elite disciples' problem that grew bigger and bigger, refused to make way. That family is a super family in the Gold Mist Universe country, and their family leader is Jian Ta Emperor. I also heard that his teacher is a knight. After the matter got worse, I heard that he sent a mail to you to settle it personally. However, your virtual universe has been shut for so long. Mum even said that there's been rumors around Yuseong Mountain that you've fallen. Luo Ping said. The underlings in your villa haven't seen you in over 6,000 years. To a sector lord that barely lived past 10,000 years, vanishing for 6,000 years at a go was unbelievable. Luo Feng nodded. Indeed, there were rumors that he had fallen. That Jianta emperor may have noticed this and hence never stopped his family. Maybe he wanted to make use of the opportunity to force our family to submit to him, seeing if you'll show yourself. Luo Ping said. HMPH. Luo Feng nodded coldly. Whether I'm alive or dead, just this news alone is priceless. Especially the other races in the universe, they'd want to find out the truth about the matter. That Jianta emperor is only a disciple of a knight, yet he dares go so far. Let's go, bring me to your mum. 9-Star Bay, Luo family headquarters. Shushin personally brought the team of envoys from the Luo family. Mrs. Luo, our Luo Sai family respects Lord Luo Feng greatly. Hence we've been bearing all this while, however this doesn't mean that we can be easily bullied. This is our final line, as long as you can compensate us this much, everything will be settled. The negotiator from the Luo Sai family was a gold-armored giant with an elephant nose. Shushin sat there. Could she agree? Being bullied to that extent. If she bowed down, the rumors would get even crazier, and the other families would gradually all begin to suspect if Luo Feng had truly fallen. Once that begun, it would be even more troublesome. Mrs. Luo, the negotiations have already gone on for 7 days, and today is the last day. If there is no resolution, our Luo Sai family will have to. Pa. The doors swung open violently, everyone within was shocked. This was an important negotiation. Who would dare barge in like that? A silver-armored silhouette walked straight in. The formless pressure, just the pressure from his consciousness spread throughout. Immediately made everyone in the Luo Sai family go pale. Luo Sai family. Jianta emperor. Tell him. The silver-armored youth looked coldly at the leader of the family. Anyone who dares bully my family, his guts must be huge. I really wonder, who gives him such guts? Has he been bribed by the other races? Tell him, without a proper answer, I don't mind, in killing him and wiping out the entire Luo Sai family. Everyone in the hall was shocked. The head of our Luo Sai family. The giant with the elephant nose was stuttering and about to speak. Luo Emperor. HMPH. Luo Feng snorted coldly. Remember, I want a proper answer. If it's not good enough, you know what will happen. The Luo Sai family side were all shocked into silence. Get out. Luo Feng ordered. They all bowed respectfully, leaving the room haggardly before vanishing. They didn't dare vanish before Luo Feng, their pride had all been completely smashed. Within the hall, everyone in the Luo family had looks of glee. Shushin stood there, her body shaking excitedly as she looked at him. It's been hard on you. Luo Feng turned to his wife and gently held her hand. The others all left obediently. Only Luo Feng and her were left. You are back, that's good. She looked at him, tears welling up. Everything is good. I promise you that no one will bully our family, no one. Luo Feng gently rubbed her face. Recalling the over 30,000 males, he felt sorry within, he owed too much to her. As long as you come back, that's enough. She said softly, give me a hug. HM. Luo Feng nodded. They hugged for a while as she lay in his chest. Although there was silence, she was feeling his warmth, his heartbeat, and his energy. After a while, even though they didn't even say a word, hugging his wife in his arms, he could feel her warmth, their souls connected and they could feel each other's thoughts. Luo Feng could feel the way she missed and loved him. Shushin could feel his guilt and pain. Gradually, the two of them enjoyed the silence between them and each other's warmth. After a while, Feng, don't make us worry, understand? She looked up at him, saying softly, I know you are exploring the universe, and a lot of things are out of your control. The path of a warrior is extremely dangerous, but, Try your best not to enter dangerous regions. I understand. Luo Feng nodded, gently stroking her hair. What do you think of Jian Ta, emperor of the Luo Sai family? Luo Sai family? Shushin frowned. After the matter got blown up, the Luo Sai family was initially courteous to us. I heard that when he couldn't contact you, that was when they began to lose that courtesy and even tried to step above us. Since you became the disciple of the primal chaos city leader, our family's strength flourished. We began to do business with almost everybody. It was good enough that we didn't bully anyone. Who would dare bully us? She said. Luo Feng nodded. Doing business with the disciple of the city leader, all the undying families, official and emperors, many of them would be willing to lower their head rather than offend the Luo family. This was simply the way of life, like how Luo Feng treated the city leader with utmost respect. Back when he was weak and small, the first time he met Yang Zhu Emperor, he felt weak and small against him. The theory was the same. At different levels of strength and position, the power one had was different. Even though Yuseong Mountain has been filled with rumors of your death, Jian Ta Emperor has been wondering if you really fell. When he couldn't contact you, his demeanor changed. But this doesn't justify him trying to bully our family. Shushin said, which family would dare do that? Even the royal family of the Gan, Wu Universe country would treat us as equals. Your way of thinking makes sense. Luo Feng nodded. Jian Ta had secretly allowed his family to do so. Even though it was cautious enough, from the negotiations it was clear they wanted to step over the Luo family. This was a slap in the face. As long as Luo Feng hadn't fallen, he needed to show himself. He's forcing me to show myself. It may very likely be so, to see if I'm still alive. Luo Feng said. Feng, your current position is different. There are many warriors from other races watching and waiting to kill you. This whole incident feels like there are some other races involved. You have to be careful. She said. Without enough benefits, who'd dare do such a thing? Luo Feng nodded. Relax, within human territory, they aren't worth worrying about. Shushin nodded, even though she was worried within. The primal chaos city leader is looking for me. I rushed home as soon as I could. But I have to go see him now. I'll be back later. He smiled. Prepare for a reunion dinner later. She nodded happily. Within the highest peaks of Thunder Island, a palace was engulfed in primal chaos energy. The city leader lived within. Shua. Luo Feng appeared at the entrance, stepping in and walking along the deep pathways, where he couldn't even visibly see the ends of the hallways. After a while, he stopped. Teacher. He said respectfully. A gold-robed silhouette walked out from the energies. That powerful energy made him hold his breath, however his perspectives were higher now. Having seen the sitting mountain guest, he could feel that this teacher of his was stronger than Put, but obviously weaker than the great being. You've returned. The city leader's gaze was vast like space. He smiled, it's good you are back alive. Looks like you've suffered quite a bit over the past 6,000 years. I did go through quite a bit. Luo Feng answered, remembering the days of the life or death inheritance, sighing within. The city leader's eyes gleamed, carefully observing him. This made Luo Feng stunned. What was he looking for? This was the virtual universe, the bodies were all simulated. The most he could do was examine his consciousness, and this could be easily felt. After all, how powerful was the city leader? Your consciousness has grown even stronger than before. He said shocked, and you've gotten recognition from the space laws. Luo Feng was stunned before he realized. The recognition from the space laws was something he had gotten during the over 6,000 years of inheritance. When the Mosha body could use teleportation, he connected with the universe laws, and that was when he got recognized. All three bodies now had the mark on their forehead. When he connected to the virtual universe, the system scanned him and his forehead was naturally recorded. And it's a high recognition, you should be able to teleport. The city leader said, shocked. The law recognitions had different levels too. Like the gold law, it could form a gold blade or even a gold mountain. Different imprints represented a different side of the recognition. And Luo Feng's forehead had many dotted stars appearing and disappearing. This was the highest of the three recognitions, one that only appeared with teleportation. How's your law comprehension? The city leader asked. About the heavenly bridge's 20th level. Luo Feng replied respectfully. In terms of strength, his law comprehension could indeed pass the 20th level. The main thing was that he relied on the beast god presence. And his true strength, the Nanshan 7 forms and space laws, those were far from his beast god presence. 20th level. The city glanced at him. Your improvement is huge, and is even comparable to the top genius of humanity, Kudai and Shahua before. It's mostly due to luck. Luo Feng said. Luck and encounters are a part of strength as well. The city leader smiled. You disappeared for over 6,000 years. There have been many rumors about you falling. Did it create any trouble for your family? Some little trouble. Luo Feng replied, I can handle it. The position in humanity is important, but strength is more important. Even though you are my disciple, if your improvement has been slow all this while and not representative of your status, others will look down on you. The city leader said. Over these 6,000 years, you haven't shown your strength at all. When you find the time, go attempt the sector Lord Sky Mountain. If you succeed, your name and reputation will spread. Those little punks wouldn't dare mess with you anymore. Anyone who does, we can only suspect, whether they are linked to other races and are traitors of humanity. Attempting Sky Mountain. His teacher naturally referred to the primal region Sky Mountain, for which one required law comprehension of the 20th level to pass. In history, anyone able to pass this were all absolute pinnacle geniuses. Only after passing this sector Lord Primal Region's Sky Mountain, would one truly be on the same level as Kudai and Shahua Knight and the others. Yes. Luo Feng replied. Knowing when to hold back is important, and so is knowing when to display your strength. The city leader said. Like your Blade River Emperor identity, you have to keep it separate from your Luo Feng identity. You even made an emperor limit your slave. If the other races know about this, they will spend huge amounts to kill you. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. The news of Blade River having heavy arrow, as his slave had long spread far and wide. Hence, the Primal Chaos city leader naturally knew about it as well. I've already specially created a Blade River identity, from his youth to emperor level, with detailed information, without a loophole. The city leader said. And when you pass the sector Lord Sky Mountain, I will arrange for the Hong Alliance to welcome you in. Then, you'll join as Luo Feng too. You'll have 2 slots. Thank you, teacher. Luo Feng said gratefully. If you don't mind me asking, how can you use the Yangshan armor, and how can you kill those emperors so easily? The city leader looked at him. He had asked very gently. These beings had lived a long time, and they were clear that the geniuses tend to hide their special inheritance and treasures and not reveal them. Everybody was selfish. And because of that, they were able to strengthen themselves, working hard to protect their loved ones and their race. These beings were clear that they couldn't force such questions, or the geniuses would turn their backs on them. The more of a genius one was, the more they were proud. I was naturally able to use the armor. Luo Feng replied. Naturally. The city leader instantly understood. Yangshan race, Earth race. As to killing the emperors, I relied on the armor, Showu wings and the Fei Mo poison. He replied respectfully. When I first stepped into the outer region wars, I used the soldier armor. Later on, as my strength grew, I began to barely use the general armor. He said respectfully. Actually, the city leader could see clearly through the army system that he began with a black armor and later switched to a silver armor. That was after he had acquired the second black metal board on Yangji continent. As for being able to trigger the strength of the general armor, it's because, on Yangji continent, I successfully absorbed 10 blood river crystals and became a black warrior. Luo Feng said respectfully. Secrets and trump cards were meant to be hidden, but there were some that he could reveal. He wouldn't be able to hide it for too long anyway. Black warrior. The city leader's eyes gleamed with some shock, after which he turned happily to Luo Feng. The Black Warrior was a legend even on Blood River continent, much less within humanity. Luo Feng didn't fully comprehend the importance of being a Black Warrior, however. Just who was he speaking to? The city leader was very clear what the Black Warrior represented. Good, good, good. He said 3 words. His attitude towards Luo Feng had risen obviously. The stronger he got, the more the city leader naturally favored him. Everything he did and acted was from the perspective of the entire race. The city leader was as such. Luo Feng was shocked. After so many meetings with the Primal Chaos city leader, he was very clear on how strict and serious he was. His usual performance was already exceptional by his own standards, yet the teacher treated them all as though they were average, very rarely ever complimenting him. Even when his moon policy was complimented, it wasn't like this, saying good 3 times. For the city leader to say good 3 times, that was completely unexpected. I only said I became a black warrior. Luo Feng thought. A black warrior can instantly raise his genetics 10 times, making my foundation stronger than others by 10 times. It is special, but not enough for teacher, such a being to say so much. And teacher is thinking about everything for the race. Does being a black warrior mean more than this? Luo Feng. The city leader smiled. Teacher. He replied respectfully. Don't spread the news about becoming a black warrior yet, ha ha. It's been a very long time since our humanity has had a black warrior. He complimented. Your talent in the beast god path is very high, and you are a black warrior. It's an absolute perfect combination. Since your law comprehension is so high now, you should be able to break through to Undying anytime. When are you preparing to do so? I want to go explore a secret region before breaking through. Luo Feng replied respectfully. The plan he had involved getting the 3rd metal board first. As for breaking through, his beast god presence had reached the Heavenly Bridge's 20th level. At such a high level, as long as he wanted to break through, he could with the gold laws. Then he instantly completely comprehend the gold laws. Using that, he could break through, even though the golden horned beast usually found it very hard to break through, with comprehension at the 20th level, no matter how hard breaking through the foundation of the main core was, it was still possible. The only thing was, did he dare? No. Because Haddon found his 3rd clone. The moment he broke through, his internal world would become a god country, and then it would be impossible to produce a 3rd clone. Secret regions. The city leader frowned. Kudai had fallen in a secret region. The outer region wars were dangerous, but it was still controlled. The dangers in the secret regions, however, weren't. Countless regions were dangerous enough for even knights to fall. Like how Shiluo duo had vanished within one, leaving the entire golden horned race to fall after, having no choice but to rely on humanity. Your law comprehension is very high. If you can break through, just break through. The city leader said. After you become undying, you'll be much stronger, and your survival ability will much higher too. It wouldn't be too late to explore the regions then. I have to look for my third clone. Luo Feng said respectfully. Ah. The city leader looked at him. He had long known about his possession of the golden horned beast, and that it had 3 slots for clones. All the higher position warriors knew this. Treasure trove, Hong Alliance, they all have special life forms and remains. The city leader said. I need a sector lord level remain, and those places do indeed have special remains. However, most of them are undying level. Luo Feng said. As for sector lord level, they are very few. After all, most special life forms are naturally born highly intelligent, and they know there are many out to possess them. Hence, while they are weak, very few actually leave the secret regions, and it's easy for them to become undying. Hence, there are very few sector lord levels, the preserved corpses especially, are extremely rare. The higher the bloodline, the harder it is for them to become undying. However, special life forms were different. Special life forms, the higher their bloodline, the more heavenly they were. But, they had no right to be considered a race. They were few in numbers, some so few that there's only one in the entire universe. The more plentiful ones with maybe 10 to a few hundred. Even in the thousands, that was still very few. Like the golden horned beast, though few in name, in the vast universe, there are still quite a few. Through the many generations of passing down for countless years, the number of undying golden horned beast had grown rather significantly. As long as they passed down their inheritance, with enough time, more would be produced eventually. Special life forms were rare. They however broke through to undying easily, with few of them being born as undying, like the beast god, born immediately with universe master strength. As they are simply too few, with no reproductive abilities, the laws of the universe gave them special advantages. They were special from birth. The city leader nodded. Sector Lord special life form, almost all of them hide in the secret regions. Wanting to capture them is incredibly hard. And your production of a clone only requires a feather or scale, it's worth trying. I wish to do so too. While I may not be able to capture them, I should still be able to get a feather or scale, etc. Luo Feng said respectfully. Remember, act according to your strength. The city leader ordered. Yes. Luo Feng replied. Go on. The city leader turned and walked into the vast energies. Luo Feng bowed respectfully and left. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Thunder Island, Truyang's palace. Luo Feng was carrying 2 valuable cases of wine and heading in. Teacher, teacher. Luo Feng shouted loudly. Why don't you come in? Truyang laughed. Luo Feng stepped in and met many of his disciples in name. These disciples in name all naturally called Luo Feng Senior, regardless of age, or when they actually took on the title. The palace was huge. After walking a while, Luo Feng reached a waterfront pavilion. Within, Truyang sat there looking at the vast ocean waves, gazing further onto the lightning surrounding Thunder Island. He sniffed, his gaze turning to the 2 cases Luo Feng carried. Spirit Downfall and 9 Peaks wine. When you sent me off back then, you asked me to bring some wine back. Luo Feng smiled. I'm just about to leave the outer region wars. Even though I haven't found the time to get back to Primal Chaos City, I'll give you some in the virtual universe first, since the wine here is much cheaper than reality. I got a good disciple indeed. These 2 cases should be worth over 3 million mixed elements. Truyang received them and took out each bottle. In reality, they'll be worth over 300 million. Even I've only drank Spirit Downfall once, even though I can afford it, it's still quite a pinch. Luo Feng laughed. He could bear to do so only because of his teacher. If it was for himself, he couldn't bear to either. Even spending over 3 million mixed elements in the virtual universe, that was enough to buy several starfields. Come, cheers. The wine was poured and the two of them chatted while they drank. Teacher, I got a true treasure in the outer region wars. Luo Feng said. True treasure? True Yang was shocked. This true treasure is an ancient clock. Luo Feng began to explain in detail about its ability, and its requirements etc. Teacher, I already have a treasure that the Primal Chaos City leader gave me. Hence, I don't need this one, I wonder if you need it. Ha ha, you sure think of your teacher. True Yang laughed. He was very happy, however from how he saw it, Luo Feng had suffered plenty within the outer region wars. That ancient clock was a reward of his, and such a treasure, it was priceless. Just one sealed star alone resulted in such a bloodbath. It was easy to know how valuable this was. With his character, how could he accept such a treasure for his disciple so easily? Relax. Your teacher is renowned. True Yang sipped his wine and said. To be able to make such a name, who wouldn't have true treasures? Without them to protect me, how could I be an invincible emperor? Luo Feng was stunned. Life Fall Emperor, 7 Blade, Da Long, these all had plenty of treasures on themselves. His teacher True Yang had lived for trillions of years, he was even stronger than them, akin to a knight. How could he not have any true treasures himself? This ancient clock doesn't fit my path too, it's useless to me. He shook his head, keep it for now. Luo Feng nodded. Even though he rejected the gift, his smile widened even more than before. His disciple was willing to give him a true treasure, unless he truly respected his teacher, how could he do that? After all, Luo Feng's other teacher was the Primal Chaos City leader. He had no need to stay on good terms with him anymore. It showed that Luo Feng was genuine in his respect. Have you returned home? True Yang asked. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. How's the family? True Yang laughed. Shushin had come looking for him before and he immediately went looking for the city leader. They were worried. Luo Feng sighed. However, it's okay now. When I went back, I actually found out that Jianta Emperor of the Luosai family was creating trouble for my family. Jianta Emperor, who's that? True Yang frowned. He just became an emperor not long ago. Luo Feng replied. I remember, his luck is not bad, he went under Gold Mist Night. True Yang shook his head. Gold Mist Night is an average knight amongst many others. He has quite a few disciples, even Jianta managed to get in. He actually dares to pick a fight with your family. True Yang was shocked. Who's supporting him? He sure has some guts. Even his teacher Gold Mist would treat you courteously, he wouldn't offend you. You are after all the disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader. Even if the city leader didn't appear for you, just your group of seniors, any one of them would be able to completely scare the shit out of Gold Mist. Right, I was puzzled too. Luo Feng shook his head. The disciples of the city leader were mostly knights, Gui Knight, Gold Axe etc. It's definitely because you vanished, with the rumors of you dying and all. True Yang's eyes gleamed with ferocity. You have to check and punish them heavily. During such times, you must set an example for others. Part 2 end here.